Hello everyone, we bring forth another chess composition, and this one is actually similar to number 3 of my 10 positions stockfish, was it stockfish 11? Gets wrong. Yeah, that video is in the Tricking Chess Engines playlist, and the game was by Osaskas versus Mali Soskas in Vilnius in the year 2004. So this puzzle I'm about to show you has a very similar theme as that game, and same thing here. But in that game, Stockfish never finds the correct move. But in this game, actually, Stockfish does find the correct move, but only at much higher depths, very high depths, in fact. Okay, so the correct move here. Well, I will try to give you some pointers on how you can think about it. You have these really nice bishops, and this rook here is well placed to kind of get into the attack, as well as this knight possibly into the attack. So that kind of can point you to the direction of the solution, which is a bit difficult to find. Admittedly, it's queen takes f6 check, a queen sacrifice. The entire point to draw the king out in the open. And thanks to this rook, bishop e5 check, now the king only has this square to come to. I explain more about the variations beforehand, but just so you can imagine why this queen sacrifice can be played, right? Because the king is now here, so you might have a checkmate. And notice all of black's pieces. I mean, most of them are on the queen side not doing anything, and some of them are in the center not doing anything. So there is no one to help this lone king. Poor guy. Okay, returning a bit, you obviously cannot decline the queen sacrifice. This would be leading to checkmate, and if you go here, this would be immediately checkmate, so you can't decline the queen sacrifice. And after bishop e5 check, the only other move is king f5, but this gets checkmated as well in 3 moves, and this is a nice checkmating pattern. So after bishop e5 check, you have to go king g5, and now we keep adding pressure to this king by playing bishop g7, a very nice concept, blocking off this escape square, giving up the rook, sure, but we're able to mate just with this bishop and some pawns, and the knight can help at all points. Notice that this bishop is blocking these 2 important squares, so if you could somehow like just block off these other squares, we're going to be checkmating very soon. So that's the basis of these ideas. Let's say, for example, if black plays nothing here, we have this checkmate. Beautiful checkmate. As well, if they play a similar kind of nothing move, again this checkmate will occur. This time the knight is sacrificed, but it leads to the same outcome and the same pattern. So here bishop takes e4 is played, and now let me promote this variation. f4 check is played. So after, well, black has nothing better than taking the rook, obviously. So because the rook was threatening these checkmating ideas, supporting these checkmating ideas, so black takes the rook, and now these checkmating ideas are not immediately working, at least. And if you take back with the bishop, that's not as effective as the game continuation. The game continuation is playing f4 check. Okay, so where does the king go to? It only has 1 square really. King f5 is met by a nice checkmate. Now the knight is getting to work, and the other square, king g4, is met by a nicer checkmate. It's the following, and yeah, this is checkmate. So the only other square is king h5, the one with the most resistance. Now we take, and now we're again threatening. If black does nothing, we're threatening checkmate. So black plays g5, desperately trying to open up some squares, because now if we check here, black is able to go back. Just trying to open up some squares, but that won't be allowed. Here we play knight e5, not only blocking off g6, but also now we have this threat alongside taking, so controlling g4 as well. So again, rook a8, for example, rook a8, whatever, doesn't matter. Bishop f3 check, g4, and now we can take, and this is immediately winning. Checkmate. So queen c6 is trying to sacrifice the queen, but g4 check anyway, king h4, and now bishop g5, again threatening what? Checos e matos. Well, not immediately, but it would be leading to checkmate. So black will sacrifice the queen eventually. This queen is just going to be lost eventually. So, okay, they try h6, defending g5, but now we take, again renewing the threat of taking with checkmate, and black tries to defend to remove the attacking bishop, but we just take here, and now this really can't be prevented. Let's say black tries something like queen d6, trying to take the bishop. We can check, and after takes we can play the brilliant rook g1. The purpose is knight f3 checkmate. We're just protecting g4. Knight f3 would not be checkmate here because king takes g4. So we play the brilliant rook g1, aiming for knight takes g4 check, and if the king moves, as it has to do now, because if not, checkmate will happen. So king g5, now we have the fork. But we don't even need to capitalize immediately on the fork. We can play h7 here, trying to promote. So we could, of course, take the queen, and that would be winning. Actually, yeah, maybe not so clear. So it's better to play h7 and just take, and this is an easy win. So yeah, overall a very brilliant puzzle. The queen sacrifice is similar to the position we've seen in my 10 positions Stockfish Gets Wrong video, which I encourage you to check out. It's number 3. These kind of queen sacrifices are difficult, but Stockfish does find this one because the king will be in the open, and with concrete calculation you can figure out the mate. So yeah, very nice puzzle. And the bishop move, especially funny that the bishop is on b8 here, right? But yeah, the bishop move, especially bishop g7 over here on move 3, cutting off the black king, that's very nice and very brilliant and difficult to foresee. So if you foresaw that at the beginning of the video, you paused the video and tried to figure it out, and you figured it out, then congratulations. And with that, I wish you an adieu. Goodbye, guys. Take care.